was my first entrepreneurial experience. I started, it was the first big lounge in Jeddah. It was called Java Lounge. It was such a hit. We were able to attract, other franchises from abroad, such as Bread Talk from Singapore, Kebabji from Lebanon. We opened another sushi concept called Senses, and I exited a few years later to join the family business, which is an architectural and engineering firm that my father started back in 1985. It's called Saudi DR Consultants, and I worked there for 10 years. After these 10 years, I just wasn't inspired enough until I was introduced to the concepts of modern farming and hydroponics to a friend, and I was just fascinated. I fell in love with it. It's as if a bulb went off in my head, and I was like, wow, this is perfect for our region. The whole journey, the past 5 years have taken me into the making of Badia Farms. When you send them when we used to share our location in Al Quoz area in downtown Dubai, they just couldn't believe it. They're like, oh, we're going to visit a farm in the middle of an industrial area. A group of investors that could support entrepreneurs is very, very important. That belief as well in the vision, the mission, and the cause of what's trying to be done. As entrepreneurs, we're always creating something out of nothing, and a lot of times we could be successful or we could fail, but having the support, I think, is essential for the success of entrepreneurs. The government, especially now after COVID, are truly focused on the issue of self-sufficiency and food security, to be serious steps taken and shown to attract vertical farms. Local banks where they could provide, we call them maybe green loans, or loans that are not, the requirements are not similar to other business that is being studied or reviewed, would start assigning, I would say, within a community. For example, so Omar would set up a zone and says, okay, this will be a vertical farm or a modern farming hub. It will take one developer to do it and set up a model. In Saudi Arabia, last month, they introduced an importation tax, 15% on all fruits and vegetables that get imported. So this is great because now you're starting to protect your local farmers and your local industry. This whole COVID situation forced us to get into retail, explore that market, and now that that market is going, and the hotels are back, we're looking to go to a setup to expand and go to a bigger facility so we could take her to both segments. We're selling through online retailers. And we're going to launch our online, Badia's online cart soon. So once consumers have that accessibility where they place the order, we harvest the crop and send it to their house, I think they're going to be blown away. And this is going to become the mode of what they're going to be accepting. They will be able to compare the deterioration that happens to the product versus being 100% fresh. One thing I've learned is, growers are like doctors. Everyone has an opinion. So what we do is we have a pool of consultants that we always work with when we need some advice on any area. Have your basic team in-house, but have access to a much wider range of opinions and advices. Because there was a lot of skeptics as well. This is not a natural form of growing. That if it's not soil, it's not correct. But until they tasted the product and they realized, okay, no, this is as good as it gets as well. In a conventional farm or open field farm, you could get maybe 3 to 4 cycles of lettuce. While indoors, it can go up to 12. That's because you're using hydroponic techniques, which is soilless agriculture, that you plug in with some lights, they give you the seeds, and it could be done. But again, it's just a matter of, you won't get the right yield, because to get the right yield, commercial yield requires, managing all the inputs that go in. Once the industry matures, we're all going to have access to the same, lights or the same grow systems. But what's going to differentiate one company from the other is, that team behind it, that know-how, that nutritional formula, nutritional recipe that will have a big effect on the taste and the quality of the product.